Hi, welcome back to part two of our lunch menu ordering system that we're building in Power Apps. This is where I want to get up to today. As you can see, I made a bit of progress in the meantime, and what I've done is add, if I click play here, I've added a little drop-down menu. I've added a drop-down here where I can select the day and it changes. There we go. Changes the selection, what's on offer for each day. And that's it for today. So that's where we're going to get to. I also changed the kind of the layout and a few other bits that I'll show you as well. So right, let's get into it. Okay, so this is where we got to at the end of part one. Just to basically, we're bringing everything through from our list, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the food, which we don't want to do ultimately. And there's not much else in here. So I thought we'd start off with putting a title at the top here. To do that, I'm just going to click label here, and it pops the label field over here. So I can just drag this about. I can sort of resize the box like that. I can double click in here to start typing to change the title as well, or I can just change it directly in here. Change it to lunch menu like that. Problem is it's really small, so we can change the properties of this. There'll be a size property. We can just bump that up to 30 or something like that. So now we've got a nice little title. Now the one thing I wanted to do was put a drop down so people can change what day they see, because obviously we've got loads of food on here. We don't know what day it's coming on. So we literally go to input and drop down. It pops a little drop down box here. Just drag that a bit bigger. As you can see, if I press play in the drop down box, you get sample 1, 2, 3. And that, if I click it again, is where items is set to drop down sample. And we need to put a list in here. And we're going to do something like this: Monday, and put that in speech marks. Again, Tuesday, Wednesday. You get the idea. And I've definitely done a typo there because I'm trying to type so fast and I'm not used to it. There we go. So you can see, okay, so we're saying the right thing. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's a little bit small again, so I just click the drop down and look for the size option here. We could do the same, make it the same size as the title if we want. Leave it like that. Now I'm going to move that in a minute because I don't really like. We can drag that wherever we want it to be. It could be over here, for example. At the moment, when you select it, it's doing nothing. So we need to link the gallery to the selection here. And the gallery at the moment, the items in the gallery here, is just bringing everything back. So what we need to do, we need to filter this list. So we literally put in filter, open brackets, and again it shows you exactly what you need to type here. Source is the list, menu choices. Then we put a comma, and we're going to say where day is equal to, and then we want, you see where it's called it drop down to, we want drop down to, and it will find it here. And we do a dot to see what options we have. Selected text. Again, you would think if I put an N bracket on there, you're still not happy with that. And if you hover over it, it'll say invalid. Doesn't help too much. But I know that if I put another dot here, it's another option. So we want the value. And there we go, it starts to populate, look. That's really all we have to do. If I show you, change to Tuesday, filters the list just for days of Tuesday, etc. Thursday. It's looking better now. I wanted to show you what happens if you rename this drop-down field, because you would think if I select this, choose this ellipsis button and choose rename, if I call it drop down day, I think it would break the formula. But in actual fact, if I click this formula here, it rebuilds it for you on the fly, which is kind of cool in Power Apps. So that is a pretty nice feature there. I'm also going to resize this gallery a bit. I'm going to show you that. So if you click the gallery, you're selecting the whole thing. If I click into here, there's then a selection within this, so I can drag this around to space these items apart. See that? So I may just want to space them so we only have, say, like 3 on a line, because we've only got 3 items on each day. So it would make sense to size them something like, let's change this so we can actually see, because we've got a broken photo for Madeline's. We're going to fix that next. Drag that in so they're kind of spaced a bit nicer on the page, and then you can drag the whole thing around. Put the title underneath here. That as well. That's looking a little bit better. Yeah, so I did leave in, accidentally on purpose, this error here. It's not pulling the photo through. Now, and I'll just show you, just to reiterate what the problem is there. If we go back to the site and we find our picture library. So that's our list. We want our picture library in site contents. And then where are we? Lunch pics. We find our nice one about Madeline's, which is probably this one. Yeah, you see, just to drive home the point, I made sure the title was wrong on this one. So again, this has to exactly match what is in the lunch menu list. Change it there, and it saves it. We go back to our Power App. It hasn't changed, so we need to go into our connection here in data sources, and we need to refresh lunch pics. I choose this option here and refresh. There we go. Let's fix that little bug. Okay, so finally for today, I want to show you how to do this drop-down menu. So when we click on this burger menu here, it pops up a little menu, and click it again, it makes it disappear. So that's actually really easy. All we have to do is insert a few buttons like this, drag that where we want it, and then I'm just going to do Control C, Control V, Control V, just to copy those again and bump them up so they're kind of in a menu layout there. Now let's change the color of these. So go down to the properties down the bottom right here, and we've got color in the list. You can just choose what looks good to you. I'm going to go with this one. Make them all the same. Now we want to change the text here. If I double click it, highlights that, and I can just type whatever I want. So I'm going to choose what we're going to type here. We want our first page that they select to be the page where they choose what they want for lunch. So let's just do, let's say orders. And the next one, we could do one for allergies, for example. And I don't have an example for number 3, but we'll just leave that. Now it's a little bit small, so we'll select it again and go to size. Let's see what 20 looks like. Yeah, a bit better. Size 20. And we could even just do it down the bottom right here as well. It's all the same. There we go, size 20. Now the other thing we want to do on these, is you can see a button automatically is all rounded, so it doesn't look great in a menu. So if we scroll down our properties here, border radius is what makes it rounded. So if I set that to 0, we've got a nice square menu here. Again, all of this is personal taste, and I am really not the best person at designing these things. I'm more into the technical stuff. I'm sure you'll be better at it than me, but there we go. I'm just showing you a few tricks I've picked up. So it looks good. Unfortunately, this does nothing to show or hide these menus. So first of all, I'm going to hold down Control, and then left click on them all together. And then if I right click over here, we'll see where they're highlighted, and choose Group. That just groups those controls together, makes things a bit easier. So then I can just highlight them all together and change the properties in one. And the property we want to change is visibility. That's going to make it appear and disappear. And I want to set it so the minute it's true, so you can see it. I'm going to set it to a variable menu show. I've used it before, so it's appeared. But you can literally just type a variable there, whatever you like, and it will create it on the fly. So there we go. And we want to set it so that when you click this, oh, I've showed you this. I meant to delete that. I'll show you it from scratch. When you click this on select, it sets that variable to either true or false, and therefore shows that menu, or it doesn't show it. So on select, set var menu show, and then we need to set it to this. Well, let's set it to false. Now the problem is, it's always, whenever you're going to click that, it's always going to set it to false. We need one that sets it to true as well. So why don't we put an if in front of this, and this is the best way to build these formulas up, just bit by bit build them out. So if var menu show equals true, set it to false, and then we put a close bracket on the end. Have we got enough? We're still going to need to do something else here. It's not quite there. So if it's true, set it to false, but if we click into here and put a comma, we have else. Otherwise, if it's not true, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to set it to true. Var menu show true, like that. Now let's see what we get here. There we go. Perfect little pop-up menu there. Just clicking on the burger, but on the burger icon. So there we go. That's everything I wanted to show you for our second in the series, and third in the series. We're going to look at how to do our next screen, which is how you actually order the food you want and send it to another list to SharePoint for the catering department to pick up. So hope you check that one out. Thanks.